heard, my name's Alex. I'm a senior. I was going to tell you a couple of things about myself before we get started so you can get to know each other. I made Awakening in '59 with the heart over there. And yeah, I'm a marketing major and plastics major. And I love music, I love hanging out with my friends, I love picnics. I love the theater. I actually used to do a lot of theater back in high school. I was the president of my high school's drama club. But my last show that I did was in my sophomore year. We did Mary Poppins. Disney does an awesome job of transferring their movies to the stage. I don't know if you've seen any of them, but they're awesome. We go to the Sanger a lot as a family. Since I can't be in as many shows anymore, I love to go see them still, you know. And I went a couple weeks ago with my mom to see The Lion King. Did any of you guys go to see that when that happened? Show your hands. Yeah? It was so good, y'all. Like, the costumes were awesome, and the singing was beautiful, and the dancing was awesome. They had, like, gazelles and other animals that you find in the African savannah there. And it was so beautiful. And I don't know if it was where my heart was then, you know, like where my disposition was, or if it was just seeing it on the stage for the first time. But something really struck me about it that I wanted to tell you guys about. So there were all the classic songs were there, right? Like, and then Can You Feel the Love Tonight? Classic. Just Can't Wait to Be King. Always good. And I love that one because Simba is so stoked to be here. He is so stoked to be here. He is the king, or he's going to be the king. He's going to get to do whatever he wants, go wherever he wants, get people to do whatever he wants. Everyone is going to pay attention to me because I'm awesome. And then Mufasa kind of takes him back. He's like, oh, Simba. He's like, no, grabs him by the scruff. He's like, Simba. No, he says, there's more to being king than getting your way all the time. There's more to being king than getting your way all the time. Look out, Simba. Everything the light touches will be yours. No, that's what he says. He says, everything the light touches will be yours. Everything. This is our home. Like, this is our house. Except lions are lions. They don't live in a house. They live in the Pride Lands. This is the Pride Lands. This is where we live. It's awesome. There's gazelles you get to eat, and antelopes you get to eat, and other lions you get to hang out with, and Nala. It's awesome. It's beautiful. This is the place we get to be, right here. And Simba says, cool, Dad. No, that's not what he says. He remembers what he says. What's over there in that dark place? And Mufasa says, you must never go there. We don't go there, Simba. We don't go there. You have this big, awesome place to go. Just don't go to that one place. Just like, trust me, it's not a good idea. And so Simba goes off and he encounters his Uncle Scar. He sees his Uncle Scar and he says, Uncle Scar, I'm the king. It's awesome. Everything the light touches is mine. And Scar says, well, did your father tell you what's beyond the northern border? And Simba says, he says, I can't go there. And Scar says, oh, of course, well, only the cleverest, bravest, most awesome, bad, but awesome lions can go there. And yeah, I mean, but I guess you're brave, aren't you? Aren't you clever, Simba? I mean, I think you're brave and clever. Aren't you the king? Can't you do whatever you want? Can't you do whatever you want? Aren't you free? Aren't you the king? And so what does Simba do? He marches right into an elephant graveyard, placing Simba in the middle with some hyenas, and then Mufasa has to come in and fetch him, take him by the scruff again, bring him, drop him back in the Pride Lands, and he says, Simba, you scrub! You broke all the rules! No, that's not what Mufasa says. Mufasa's a good dad. And he says, Simba, you could have been killed out there. Did you see how hurt you could have gotten back there, man? You are my son. You are my son. I don't want you to get hurt. But that's not the last time that Simba messes up, right? And the next time he messes up big time. He goes, he wanders by himself into the gorge, a bunch of wildebeest come rushing in, and what happens, y'all? Mufasa doesn't make it. And Simba is all alone in the gorge. All the wildebeest are gone. Mufasa is there. And he does not know what to do. And Scar comes wandering in. He says, "What have you done? What have you done? This is your fault. Well, you can't go back home. Your family's not going to want you after this. Your family's not going to want you. You don't belong here. You don't belong in this house. Run away, Simba. Run away and never return." And I don't know, but maybe that is what the enemy is telling you sitting right here tonight. Maybe he's saying, "You have screwed up too much. What are you doing on a retreat? You have messed up too much, you've broken too many rules, and and don't even think about praying. Ask God for something? Heck no. You can't ask him for anything. You've done too many things wrong." Or at least that is what he was saying to me whenever I was sitting over there when that banner was hanging instead of this one. And I want to tell you why not to believe that. So what does Simba do? Simba does it, right? Simba runs away. He runs out of the Pride Lands. And sometimes that's what we do, right? We think we've messed up too much. We don't want to stay in our Father's house, right? We've messed up too much. We can't be here anymore. And so we've run. We run away. We run out of the Pride Lands. And this is something that Adam touched on in his talk a little bit. He talks about these walls, right? Because you got to kind of build up a little shack for you to stay in. You don't have your old home anymore. But I got to build up something so that I can, I don't know, just be comfortable in this land of whatever I want to do. Hakuna Matata, don't worry about it. Don't worry about what you used to do. Don't worry about what's happened to you. So you kind of build up these walls. You have, I don't know what your walls look like. Some of my walls look like friends who said, "I don't really care what you do," and who were in these bad habits with me, right? I had other walls that looked like, I don't know, friends who were like, "Oh yeah, we just love to trash talk people because it just kind of makes us feel good, it makes us feel smart, it makes us feel like we know better and whatever." And I think my biggest wall was I had this boyfriend, and man, I didn't think I was too cool whenever I was younger. I didn't think I was too pretty when I was younger. But I thought this guy was so cool and so cute, right? And he wanted to date me? Like, man, that's all, what? Me? No. And then I put myself in that box. And whenever he wanted to date me, I said, "Man, that must be who I am. Like, this is why I'm pretty, right? Like, this is why I'm cool. This is why I'm worth being around. This is why I am who I am, because I'm in this relationship." And man, when he cheated on me, I felt like all of those things that I had were ripped away, right? Am I not pretty? I guess I wasn't ever. Am I not fun to hang out with? Was I ever? Am I worth being around? I don't know. And I started to keep asking myself, who am I anymore? I had all this ripped out under me. The friends I had all kind of started to fall away after this. And I started to wonder, when the friend group and the boyfriend and some of the accomplishments start to get taken away from me, who am I anymore? And I felt like all of those walls had been broken down. There was no lower I could have fallen. And it took one day for someone to stand in front of me and tell the story of the prodigal son, the younger son who said, "Okay, Father, I want my inheritance." And he goes and he runs away and he spends all the good gifts he has, and he finds himself just totally in the mud, in a pig pen. And I don't know if y'all know how Jewish people feel about pigs. It's not good. So that is where this guy is. He is in a pig pen, and he is in the mud. His face is in the mud. He is like eating bugs. There was no lower place he could have fallen. And he doesn't get up and say, "Oh, I should reconcile with my dad because that's the right thing to do." No, he doesn't even say, "I should go reconcile with my dad because I understand exactly what I did was wrong," right? He says, "I am starving. I'm starving. I need to go back to my dad's house." And it says, it says in Luke, coming to his senses, he arises, right? And it's almost like a monkey came up and just like hit him on the head with a stick, right? And he says, "Who are you?" And Simba says, "What?" We're back line. And Simba says, and Rafiki says, "Who are you?" And Simba says, "I don't know." And Rafiki says, "I know. You are a baboon and I am not." And Simba says, "I don't think that makes any sense." And Rafiki says, "You're Mufasa's boy." And Simba says, "Mufasa's gone. Mufasa's gone." And Rafiki says, "No, he's not. Let me bring you over here and show you." And Rafiki drags him over to a big reflection pool, right? And he says, "See, look, he's in there." And Simba says, That's not Mufasa, that's not my father. That's me. That's me in the reflection." And he says, and Rafiki says, "Look harder. Look harder." And then Mufasa appears, right? And he says, "You have forgotten who you are. And so you have forgotten me. Look inside yourself, Simba. You are more than what you have become. You are more than what you have become." And that is what the Father says to us through the priest in confession. We bring all this mud that's all over us, right? We bring all these things that we're not totally sure if we're ready to let go of. And he looks at all this stuff all over us, and the Father says, through the mouth of the priest, right? You are more than what you have become. And Simba says here, how can I go back? I'm not who I used to be. How can I go back? And now we go back to the prodigal son. So whenever the prodigal son gets up out of the mud pit, he takes a shower, he changes clothes, he puts on some deodorant, and then he goes to his dad's house. Is that what happened? He gets up out of the mud pit, and he starts running. And that's kind of what Simba does too, right? You see the slow-mo lion feet, just like... And he goes back to his dad's house. The prodigal son goes back to his dad's house. And it says, from a long way off, his father sees him. And like, he has an adult son. This guy is not like a young guy, right? The father. And he runs out to see his son and takes him into his arms. And he is gross, and he is dirty, and he has all this stuff all over him. But it doesn't matter, because his son is home. And that's like in the whirlpool, whenever Mufasa is talking to somebody, he says, remember who you are. You are my son. You are my daughter. That is who you are. Not this mess, not what you did, not the people you've been around, not your sins. You are my child. And if you want to change it, if you want to break that habit, confession is where you're going to get the grace to do it. I went back to confession after about a year and a half of having been hadn't gone to confession. And I was terrified because I thought that I was going to have something taken away from me. I thought I was going to have something taken away from me. But Pope Benedict XVI says in a homily, if we let Christ into our lives, we lose nothing. Nothing, absolutely nothing, of what makes life free, beautiful, and great. Only in this friendship are the doors of life open wide. Confession is where the Father looks at you, looks at your sins, your wounds, all those walls, this house you built around you that's kind of crumbling, and says, you are more than what you have become. You are my son. You are my daughter. I'm going to lay down, Father.